Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. I'm Levi.
And I'm Howie. And welcome to Northwest Magic. Today, we're going to talk about our top more than 10 cards from Wilds of Eldraine.
Yes, we have a good selection of top cards for here. We couldn't really put a number to it. We were just like, yeah, I like seeing all these cards. So we just compiled the list, and we're going to share them with you today.
That's right.
Howie, why don't you start us off right?
Start us off right. I really like this card. I think it's going to be a format staple, probably more than all the rest of the cards. Let's just talk about this one and then in the video. 3-minute video.
3-minute video.
It's called Virtue of Knowledge. It's 4 and a blue. Actually, the adventure side first is called Vantress Visions. It's an instant for 1 and a blue that says copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. I don't know the exact number, but I'm willing to say like 3/4 of commanders these days have activated or triggered abilities, so that's always relevant. And then the enchantment side you can cast later says if a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, it triggers an additional time. So your Panharmonicon, Yarok kind of stuff. Just kind of doubles or triples up on stuff. Super cool. Always lots of value there.
Yeah, I love that it kind of goes with the enchantment. The instant side, the adventure side goes with it, and they kind of sing together. This will be just definitely one of those really good cards to bring out. And 1 and a blue at instant speed just to copy a target activated or triggered ability you control. That's pretty dang solid. There's some pretty good activated and triggered abilities in this game, Howie.
You know what's a good triggered ability? Annihilate.
Oh, yes, it is.
Copy that.
Imagine.
That's all you need.
Oh, have Annihilator 4? We'll try Annihilator 8 now.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's a backbreaking god. All right.
And the second card, we got Beseech the Mirror. 1 black, sorcery, bargain. You may sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token as you cast a spell. Search the library for a card, exile it face down, then shuffle. If this spell was bargained, you may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. If that spell's mana value is 4 or less, put the exiled card into your hand if it wasn't cast this way. This one's pretty dang awesome. Being able to tutor something and then basically play it for free is like kind of insane.
It's $40 pre-order on
Moxfield. Yeah, I doubt it will. I mean, I don't know. I
don't think it'll hold, but I think one of the reasons why it's so high is
standard.
You can search out the One Ring in Modern.
Yeah, and then you told me
or sorcery speed from your deck or whatever. And then do it again, and then do it again.
And then do it again.
There's combos, but like this is a pretty cool card. Being able to tutor into a cast is very powerful.
Extremely. And you were telling me earlier that you can basically just bargain, and then if you are running a format that you can run more than one copy of this in, you can just find another Beseech the Mirror with it.
Yeah,
and do it like 4 times.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny to me. So
yeah, it's cool. It's fun, and it's just another black tutor. Very good.
Yeah.
What else we got? This one's super simple, but I do like it, and I wanted to put it in here. It's called Quick Study. It's 2 and a blue for an instant. It's a common. Draw 2 cards. And that's just not something we've had at instant speed at 3 mana to draw 2 cards. I mean, it's pretty simple. We don't got to talk too much about it, but it's cool. Probably going to be a nice budget staple, and I like it.
Yeah, Quick Study we're going to find quite a bit, especially in decks where instance matters. 3 mana at an instant speed for draw 2 cards is pretty dang solid.
Yeah.
One that I think is awesome, and I like the fact that they're playing around a little more with mana rocks, is Misleading Signpost for 2 and a blue artifact with flash. When it enters the battlefield, during the Declare Attacker's step, you may reselect which player or permanent target attacking creature is attacking. That is pretty awesome. And it's just a mana rock on top of it.
Yeah, it's an instant speed mana rock.
Yeah,
I like that they're giving us a reason to play 3 mana rocks between this and like Cursed Mirror and a lot of cool things the last few years.
Basically, this acts as like a redirect into somebody else, and this is a mana rock that I could actually see myself using.
Yeah,
like a 3 mana rock. Excuse me.
yeah, it's very good for. Comes in untapped. If you don't, you just hold it up. You know, you can use this, and if you don't want to use the 3 mana on this, use it on Quick Study. Draw 2 cards. You know, works out.
For real. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very nice mana
On
rock.
the subject of mana rocks, we got a new 2 mana untapped mana rock. It's called the Iron Crag. 2 mana legendary artifact. Tap to add a colorless, or it has whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may have the Iron Crag become a legendary equipment artifact named Everflame, Hero's Legacy. If you do, it gains Equip 3, and Equip creature gets +3/+3. And then the Iron Crag loses all of their abilities.
Can I call you the Iron Crag from now on?
I hope not. It's super cool though, like the flexibility, and you never have to do that second part. You never have to. This can just be, you know, a second or third or fourth, whatever copy of Mind Stone if that's what you want. But in a pinch, you can be like, yeah, this guy gets +3/+3 if you really want. Cool.
Yeah, Iron Crag, pretty dang solid. And this is a 2 mana rock.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's like a huge deal.
Yeah.
I really like tortoises, and what's awesome is there's a nice tortoise that came along in this set. Blossoming Tortoise for 2 and 2 green. It's a turtle, even though it's called Blossoming Tortoise. But the creature type is turtle. They don't know that Wizards doesn't know that those are 2 different creatures.
Yeah.
When it enters the battlefield or attacks, mill 3 cards, then return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Very solid. Activated abilities of lands you control cost 1 less to activate. You'd be surprised how effective that could be. And then land creatures you control get +1/+1. It's almost like a legendary creature.
The rest of it's cool, yeah.
I know.
This is a commander.
Yeah, but that's honestly kind of awesome that he's not, which means you can make copies of this guy.
Yeah.
Easily. And
I like that it's an ETB or attack, so you can blink them and comfortably do this like non-stop and just ramp and ramp and ramp. My favorite thing.
Being able to pull lands out of your graveyard and have them go directly to the battlefield is super good, and there's not a ton of cards that do it, you know? So when they do, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
He's
you know
a
what other
scaly
card?
boy.
You know what other card does that?
What?
Port of Arvindale is the next one on the list. When it enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Or if you're the monarch, return it to the battlefield instead.
Return it permanent. Ooh!
Could be lands.
It absolutely could be lands.
White ramp. Repeatable ramp at that. This is a repeatable thing that's pretty cool. It kind of is awesome for a lot of the same things that the turtle's awesome for, but you can hit smaller creatures or enchantments that might have died too. And it's repeatable, just like turtle.
Yeah, if you're able to remain monarch, this is actually pretty dang sweet. Being able to return 3 or less things back. It's not,
even if it went to your hand, that's not bad.
Even going back to your hand, yeah, it really isn't too bad. Yeah, well, that's a good white card. We'll talk about Court of Vantress now. This is the 2 and 2 blue enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose up to 1 other target enchantment or artifact. If you're the monarch, you may create a token that's a copy of it. If you're not the monarch, you may have Court of Vantress become a copy of it. Except it has this ability. This just lets you do something even if you're not the monarch. If you are, awesome, that's cool. But if you're not,
either way, you're
making a copy of something.
Whether it's a permanent with being a token or just moving Court of Vantress into that.
Yeah, it's giving you a reward for staying as the monarch. So
imagine having like 3 copies of Rhystic Study on the field.
yeah. Court of Ventress, even if you're not the monarch, you could make it a copy.
Do you pay the 1, 1, 1, 1, 1?
People be thinking you're a computer. Am I playing Magic against a computer or what?
Sometimes. I'm a bot.
Yeah. So, yeah. Good Monarch card, man. I want to see some more Monarch support, and I see it, and it's good.
Yeah, we're getting a lot recently.
Yeah.
The next card is another token copy kind of sort of deal. It's called the Apprentice's Folly. It's 2, a blue, and a red. 4 mana for a saga. Chapter 1 and 2 both say, choose target non-token creature you control that doesn't have the same name as a token you control. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary, and it's a reflection in addition to its other types, and has haste. Number 3, sacrifice all reflections you control. Yeah. You can, like, we both have Kaikar decks, and this is kind of really cool in that you can just be like, yeah, now I have 2 Kaikars. This triggered my first Kaikar. Now everything is gonna trigger both these 2 Kaikars, and this could even work really well in a place where you can like bounce this or sacrifice this, and you don't have to sacrifice all reflections you control.
Yeah, set up for a really big turn with this card. I like that.
Yeah.
Big setup. I love that. Let's see. Archmage of Echoes. Archmage of Echoes. 4 and a blue.
Echoes.
Echos.
Nachos.
Creature, fairy, wizard, flying. Ward 2. Whenever you cast a fairy or wizard permanent spell, copy it.
This is in the fairy precon, and I like it better for the wizard part. There are a lot of good wizards in the format.
Yeah, like fairy is fine, but the fact that it has wizard on there too, you can put this in a Wizard Matters Wizard Tribal deck, and this is going to be nasty.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things end up incidentally being like Wizard Tribal. Like, I don't know about your Kaikar list, but mine has things like Krark the Thumbless. Having 2 of those is crazy. Archmage Emeritus. What's the one that make treasures with Magecraft? Stormkiln Artist. There's just
Wizards.
so many. There's so many wizards.
You just make another one. There's a lot of wizards in this game of Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Very good card.
Cool. Oh God, Levi. Next, we're going to talk about Shadow Puppeteers.
It's okay.
This card's actually kind of cool. I like the flavor of this one. It takes a lot for me to like the flavor, I promise, but I really like this one. It's 6 and a blue. Oh, yeah, it's called Shadow Puppeteers. It's a fairy wizard. It's a 4/4 with flying and ward 2. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 black fairy rogue creature tokens with flying. Whenever a creature you control with flying attacks, you may have it become a red dragon with base power and toughness 4/4, in addition to its other colors and types until end of turn. And then the art's like these little fairy dudes making a little shadow puppet of a little little dragon.
That's
cool.
Freaking awesome.
It's just kind of cool.
That's an awesome flavor to it, and pretty useful.
Yeah, it could be a big finisher if you have like a lot of 1/1s and all of a sudden they're 4/4s.
Yeah, honestly,
Sneaky dragons.
There's lots of places this could fit into.
And I like how it has like what we kind of call pseudo haste on its ability, because you can play this if you already have a board state. Like you have 10 1/1s, and all of a sudden you play this and you got 10 Just boom, and like hit really hard. This is basically a finisher.
Shadow
Yeah.
Puppeteers is a finisher for...
Go wide, flying finisher.
Yeah. Very
good.
strong, very strong. Speaking of finishers, Moonshaker Cavalry. 5 white, white, white. It's almost like a Crater Hoof. It's like a white Crater Hoof.
It's a white crater.
Creature, Spirit Knight. Flying, when it enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain flying and get +X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. So it's really similar to Crater Hoof, except instead of trample, it gives flying, and it also doesn't have haste. But this is a color that has a lot of blink in it, so you can kind of double these triggers up quite easily.
You would not, or just, you wouldn't feel bad, like, with a lower number board state, like you got 3 guys, all of a sudden they get +4/+4, but then you do it again next turn. Like, that still feels good. Even a smaller pump if it's repeatable. It's good. I like it.
Yeah, I'm happy to see more kind of just finisher cards, because as somebody that plays weekly, sometimes it can get kind of like, oh, okay, here's another Crater Hoof. Oh, here's another Exsanguinate. I don't know.
We do need a bigger variety. I can agree with that.
I want more variety. Yes.
I've gotten stuck at one point where I was making like a lot of decks, and I was like, these are all just Exsanguinate Torment of Hailfire decks.
Yeah,
just making the same deck over and over again, where it's just black finishers with, let's splash red or splash white or both.
Yeah,
red and white.
100%.
It's so hard to make that work. I'm not saying that you can't do that, but like, I want to lose other ways.
Exactly, and I'm happy that this set seems to be adding a few.
Yeah. Our next card is Lich Knight's Conquest. It's 4 and a black for a sorcery. It says, sacrifice any number of artifacts, enchantments, and or tokens. Return that many creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's very strong. Just sacrifice a whole bunch of treasures, even if it's not that many. Like, sacrifice 4 treasures and get 4 things back. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, 5 mana. I mean, a lot of reanimate spells are around 4-ish mana to 5 mana. So if you get 2 or 3 off of this, you're already getting really good value.
Yeah, especially if you get big things. Like, you're probably gonna be playing things like Original Elishnorn or Sheoldred or big things that are going to end up in your graveyard to take advantage of cards like this. I think it's very powerful and good for the graveyard reanimator strats out there.
Extremely good. I'd throw this in a reanimator deck for sure. As long, especially if you have, especially if it's later game and like you can do without a couple of your mana rocks or something even. It's a little desperate, but it's not even that desperate. It's just like, I got my Mind Stone. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'll trade that for
Phyrexian Arena sitting around. You're like, I don't need this.
I don't need this anymore.
Flashy card on the battlefield anymore.
Exactly.
Realize this is bad.
Have a moment of realization and realize that that's actually a bad card.
I hate Phyrexian Arena. It's part of my identity. How much I hate it, guys. Listen to me.
Sub to the Patreon and Howie will get an Ask Me About that card tattoo.
No, I won't.
Phyrexian Arena. Ask Me About Phyrexian Arena tattoo.
Did we just plow through all these? We got one left.
We got Likeness Looter. It's Dimir. Fairy Shapeshifter. I almost called it a Sharpshooter. Flying.
That'd be pretty cool.
Tap, draw a card, and then discard a card. Solid Dimir Classic. And then for X, it becomes a copy of target creature card in your graveyard with mana value X. Except it has flying and this ability. Activate only as a sorcery.
Not until end of turn. That's forever.
Yeah. So you can just slap this Shapeshifter down, have it become a copy of something big, and have a good maybe like combat damage trigger or a good attack trigger. Because you're not going to get an ETB trigger off of it. But like if you get something with like other things, it'll rock your world.
This is something that I really like in card design, where it does stuff early. You play this on turn 2, you're just drawing cards and discarding, you're looting around, getting the actual cards you need. Maybe pitching something to the graveyard that you want this to turn into later. And then if you pick this up late game, draw it on turn 7 or something, you're like, oh, throughout the game I've had some cool stuff die. I can kind of get it back with this.
Exactly.
Good early, it's good late, it's good mid. I love this kind of design.
This is a beautiful card. This is actually an extremely cool card.
Yeah, cool art too. I don't usually say that.
Yeah, cool art.
It's like dancing. What is he doing? I don't even know who that is. What do you think his name is? Tomothy. All right.
I was gonna say Tom. I'm not even joking. Not Tomothy though. But wow, we're so similar, me and you.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Anyway, thank you guys. This is like top 14 cards or something. I don't even know what number.
Of Eldraine slash the
Wilds
Commander decks.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much. Subscribe and like and comment.
Yeah, tell me what card you wish we put on here that you think that we're sleeping on.
Oh,
what's the best uncommon in this set? We didn't have any uncommons. Tell me what the best one is, because I don't know. I have no idea.
Let us know.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you guys.
See you guys.
Bye.